Hi everyone, Jess here, and today I'm joined with Christina Cassotis, CEO of Pittsburgh International Airport. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So to start off, how are you leveraging partnerships to drive innovation in the industry?
Wow, we're doing a lot of that. We're doing it with private sector in terms of building our microgrid, which makes us, I think, one of the only energy independent airports in the world. So we did that with a public-private partnership. We have partnerships with all of our tenants as well as anybody who has built on our land and in the community and the industry at large. So I would say we're putting everybody to work.
Yeah, it sounds like partnerships are really core to how you operate. And as we're pushing towards sustainability targets as an industry, how is your airport looking to reduce its footprint?
Well, we started by building the microgrid, which reduced our carbon output dramatically, actually. It saved a lot of money on energy as well. We're looking to produce SAF on site, and we're working towards that. I was hoping for an announcement by now, but it might take a little longer. We're also looking at hydrogen production on site, and we're working with an R&D team in Pittsburgh. So there's a lot we're doing to help the industry earn its right to grow.
Yeah, so a really multifaceted approach
Yes.
as well, and I'll keep an eye out for the announcement when it does come.
Thank you.
So with all this tech and innovation around, how do you ensure passenger experience remains at the centre of innovation at your new landside terminal?
We put it at the center. So we have a whole design and experience team that we've brought in-house, and we are making sure that the customer journey, right, from all the way through is as seamless and as redundant as possible. So we certainly want it to be seamless, and we want technology to enable that, but we also want to make sure there are people there when things go wrong, either from our services or the airlines or something else. And we're also making sure that our staff can deliver those services seamlessly, and we look to technology, but also to a lot of non-technology projects that really work on making the airport accessible to everybody.
That's interesting, because one of the things we've seen is when things go wrong, it's not good, but it can also be the chance to leave a good impression with your customer based on how you handle it,
Yes.
the way you resolve it. And a lot of what we've seen is wanting that human contact. So it sounds like that's something you're prioritizing.
It's a huge priority. I feel like people are on their way or on their way back from something very important when they travel. They're already at 11, right?
Yeah.
If you remember Spinal Tap, they're already at 11. So if something goes wrong, they're so much more likely to fall apart. And 9 times out of 10, it's our staff that's catching them. So I want to make sure that we still have the tools to do that, and we still have the staff to do that.
That's really reassuring to hear, and especially when we think about digital exclusion. So I appreciate the technology and all its benefits, but sometimes there are some people who it just doesn't see, and you need to have something available to them.
My mother is not going to be on her phone through the whole journey, and maybe somebody else's grandparent isn't. And I think we have to make sure that the airport environment is as welcoming for them as for the day traveler on the business trip, you know, who's got just a briefcase. So we have an opportunity, I think, to really reimagine infrastructure and to keep it flexible to make room for everybody. And technology can help, but it's not going to be the only way we do it.
It's great to hear that there's that sort of inclusive approach
Yes.
to it as well.
Yeah.
And looking forward, which tech trends do you see having the biggest impact on airport operations in the next 5 years, say?
Oh, I think biometrics are going to have an amazing impact. We're listening to TSA and our Customs and Border Patrol folks talk about how they're going to integrate. I think that will make a very big difference. And I think that personalization, as we become more sophisticated in our own data evaluation and analysis, I think that there's an opportunity to really have the customer have more of the control in their journey, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Fantastic. And this event is all about driving progress in the industry. How do you think it helps to catalyse innovation by bringing people together?
Oh, I think it's incredibly important for those of us who are, you know, we're at an airport, you're often the only airport in a community. So it's not like you get to run next door and say, hey, what are you doing? I think it's conferences like this, and I think World Aviation Festival does a remarkable job at finding the folks who are thinking differently and bringing them together, and I really appreciate being here.
That's great to hear. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you, Jess.